Assassin's Creed Shadows boss claims DEI is killing game, not only doubles down on it, but also attacks critics.
Oh
What does that
my
tell you?
God.
He knows it's harming their company, but he's doubling down on it now. And in this article, we will get into just how delusional he is, how much of an echo chamber. I mean, there's no saving or changing the train of thought of these people, and we will see this in this article. So doubles down, knows it's hurting the company, but also attacks critics. He even claimed that he plans to double down on it. Now, here he says, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we highlight figures, both fictional. Now, I'm not good with these names, like Now. I think that something like that. Now, a Japanese woman warrior, and historical, like Yasuke, I believe it's pronounced, the African born samurai. While the inclusion of a black samurai in feudal Japan has sparked questions and even controversy, Now is a fictional character has also faced scrutiny for her gender. I have not actually heard that. I've not heard anyone talk about the female character in the game.
No,
Have you?
I'm sorry, I've always heard them go on about the Black Samurai.
Yeah, which is uh mostly a pure work of fiction, mostly. The way that, the treatment they gave it was for sure. Coat, and I believe that's how you pronounce his name. It could be Cote, but I'll say Coat. Then pulled out the tired talking point that leftists always use. It's always been woke, or in this case, it's always been diverse. And this isn't new ground for the franchise. This is something that they've taken to saying. It's always been woke. It's always been diverse. This is simply not true. Just no. Okay, let's I don't know, let's look at the last God of War where they swapped uh what was it? Viking, Norwegian, whatever the case was from the extreme white part of the world with black characters. And and I have no doubt they probably also went, it's always been woke. No, think back to God of War 1 and 2 and so on. It was most definitely not woke.
Yeah, that's true. And those were really good games. Those first two were, I thought.
Yeah, that one scene always kind of bugged me where it's like, press the button harder to do her harder. I mean, it
Yeah.
was funny. Yes, it was funny, but I always kind of was like, why did they, seems kind
What's the
of
point, you know?
seems kind of poor taste, and it's like, yeah, it was a little weird. But if people out there enjoyed it, good for you. But I just personally, I found it a little weird. Next, Colt attacks critics of UBI sauce, and yes, I say UBI, not Ubi. UBI sauce diversity and inclusion policies, which he is clearly an advocate for. Alongside these deep rooted franchise values is our commitment to recognize and listen to legitimate criticism as an essential part of the creative process. He
What?
has he has spoken. He says part of our job is to listen to you criticize. And then he goes and makes whole articles, whole reviews, you know, going, don't criticize, just accept your bigots. But we will get more into this. Let me not go off into a tangent on it. Our community helps us grow, evolve, and deliver better games. Today, we all, however, face the added challenge of distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance, he said. Well, I think it's easy, You can tell if it's a hateful tone or not. And even if it's not a hateful tone, you'll still have to be able to see the difference in someone saying, well, it seems like you're pandering this way, and maybe you shouldn't make up things for the sake of pandering to these people. And, it's put in a flat way or a polite way or a dry way. And it's like, this might be genuine criticism, right?
Yeah.
Not like burn in hell, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you son of a bitch, why'd you do the game? It's terrible. That's hateful.
But clearly they can't tell the difference. They think anything not agreeing with their extreme ideologies is hate speech, and therein lies the problem.
But he just got done saying that he listens to people's criticisms and it helps their creative process,
Well,
right?
clearly he does not. He sees them, hears them, and so on, but listens, he absolutely does not. The current climate is tough on our creative teams. They face lies, half truths, and personal attacks online, he continued. When we work, they pour their hearts into the twisted and into is wait. When the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating. Okay, let me just like, whoa, stop it right there.
That was written very badly.
No, well, that may be the case, but here's what I'm getting at. What they pour their hearts into is divisionism. It is divisive. It absolutely is. Directly in the game, this clip is going all over the place. The horned woman, and I'm not super familiar with Dragon Age, so I'll just put it plainly. The horned woman sits at a table, and I believe it was her mother that showed up. Whatever case, she goes, uh, I'm non binary now. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. We have a word for that. And she's like, no, you don't use that word. Call me non binary. And it's like, you're not a woman, you're not a man. Well, our people have a word for that. And she just like, yeah, should I say it? Okay,
It
whatever the case, she gives the older female hell for it. Like, just rude. Like, sits down. I'm non-binary now. Don't call me that. Even though she was going, that's cool. We have a name for that. We have people like that. And it's like, oh no, you don't say that. What they're doing by pouring their hearts into these games is a symbol of division. They are doing the thing that they are accusing us of.
that is very true.
Oh, and when the another horned woman, I read that the game's 98% females supposedly, but okay, another woman's like, uh, oh, I'm sorry, I called you she instead of whatever. I'm gonna do a barv. And it's like, a barv? What's a barv? 10 push-ups, and then tells the story, right? And says, no, I don't apologize because then I make it all about me. So basically, even the people that stop and go, I'm sorry, I misgendered you, they're pouring hate onto the people who stop and say, I'm sorry. There is no winning with these people. There is no winning. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. It's
Nope.
not there. It does not exist.
Nope. It's just a black hole of DEI bullshit. That's all it is.
It is the what was the word? Ouroboros. That's right. Ouroboros. That's what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is not just a franchise, it's a platform for entertainment, dialogue, discovery, and understanding. Oh, let me clear something up. The Dragon Age game I was speaking of, I actually think that's another company, but it kind of lumps all in together because they're all doing the same thing. It's not really a difference. Dragon Age did it harder than
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
true.
still pandering. It's still forced. It's still, propped up in the ugliest ways. So that's why my mind just kind of, okay, if it's about entertaining dialogue, discovery, and understanding, then why can't they understand when people have an issue that is legitimate?
That's a good question.
Okay. Next, Colt painted himself and Ubisoft as victims. The stories we tell, the characters we create, and the game worlds we build are instrumentalized by those who seek to silence creativity and stoke fear and insight and hatred. They've done a good job of that by doing what they do. That is that's exactly what okay, it's like this. Let me just put it like this. Assassin's Creed, we're going along. Hey, that game's good. Hey, this game's okay. Hey, this game's real good. Hey, it's give me another. We want another. Then, oh no, stop, 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 stop. We have problems with this Assassin's Creed. So who brought it? Who brought the division and hate? If
It's
everybody
cer-
was all along, it's going like the train, choo 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 choo. We're going good. We're going picking up speed. We're gonna be there, right? Everybody's enjoying the ride, and then right, and then suddenly everybody's, whoa, what have you done?
yeah.
Who is inciting hatred here?
Well, it's certainly not the gamers because they didn't create it.
Yeah, I mean, we are the end consumer, the end user. They are the companies that are making for us. If they are having so many voices of dissent, so many complaining, so much hatred inciting, can't they tell that their product's not, being marketed to the who they think it is? Can't they tell that we are the majority? Can't they tell that maybe they brought the division? He continued, believe we are facing what CNN anchor Fareed, I don't know his names, Zakaria, calls an age of revolution, a time when the real conflict is not between the left and the right, but between society that close themselves off, and those that open themselves up to the world. Okay, first of all, let's drop this left and right nonsense. Anybody who disagrees with you is not automatically hard right, this, that, and whatever, chud, blah, 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 incel nickname you want to throw at them. That's division and hate. You're calling left and right. You have literally drew a line in the sand and slinging mud with calling names. Who is causing the division and inciting hatred?
Yeah.
This isn't
Um
rocket science, people. I mean, I know none of these people is ever gonna watch this, but maybe by some miracle this will go, down the grapevine and get in their ears somehow.
yeah.
Not in a sexual way.
Ew.
Hey, these people, I'm telling you.
We had enough of that with Bowser.
Coat, Cote. I'm just gonna say Coat. Elaborated as the authors of How Democracy Dies so powerfully stated, democracies crumble when good people decide to stay silent. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
that's
Okay,
what we're trying to do is tell people nobody's listening.
we're not staying silent. Why aren't you listening? We're being loud. We're being a democracy. We're being the bigger number. We're being loud. Why aren't you listening? Why aren't you listening? You read a book on how this works. You know how this works. Why aren't you listening? When we self censor in the face of threats, we hand over power piece by piece until freedom and creativity both wither away. Isn't that what you're doing? Isn't that like saying, don't call me this, call me that. Refer to me as this. You must accept this. Isn't that forced censoring?
Yeah,
Isn't that exactly what that is?
yeah, that's exactly what it is. But they don't
How
want
can these
to.
people be this dense? I don't. It boggles the mind.
Well, as long as people keep giving them money for this crap that they're pushing out, they're never gonna do anything different.
We cannot let that happen, he proclaimed. It's time for us creators to stand firm on our commitment to our values by telling stories that inspire, that challenge, and that help people connect. Our silence cannot become complicit. Okay,
Silence.
the only way this is helping people connect is they're coming together against your forced censorship, against your forced narrative. That is the only way that your game is bringing people together.
But I kind of think of it kind of like this. As long as they're putting this kind of crap out and wanting to censor everybody, that could turn into a good thing because people like us get together and talk about it and spread the word.
Yeah, but you have the fence sitters and you have the what some people might refer to as normies, who's like, "Hey, I heard about this new game, and it got a good review, I'm going out and getting it. For example, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it will make a big old dent in their system, but it I honestly myself I don't feel it'd be quite enough. It may knock them down from making these $500 million games. They might have to go down to making $100 million games, but it's not going to derail it entirely.
No, that's true.
Okay, he says, I'm an optimist and a dreamer. I believe that the answer to hate is to continue creating experiences that celebrate the richness of our world and capture the magic of our collective imagination, because in the end, creativity is stronger than fear, and together we are creating the future of entertainment. He's creating something for sure. It's not what he thinks it is.
No, he's just creating a big old mess.
Capture the magic of what? Politics? Who thinks politics are magical?
I don't know of anybody that thinks politics
Okay.
is magical.
Anybody out there? Anybody? When you think politics, do you think richness of our world, magical? It's our imagination. This is politics. And no one likes politics being slung into their entertainment. And I don't care if it's the other way, which the other way isn't just normal people. That normal people are normal people. It doesn't make them right. It doesn't make them Trump lovers. They're just normal people. Straight people are just straight people. White people are just white people. Christian people are just Christian people. But these people have went so far in one direction. They are so far gone that they think any slight deviation of their mindset makes you saluting, in World War II, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm going
Yeah.
for there.
But I kind of think they want it that way. They got to have something to bitch about,
Of course, they want it that way because pride releases endorphins, this immediate gratification. They've been taught to think and feel and react this way. It's, Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah.
Colt detailed how Musk post broke him emotionally. That tweet generated emotions that the first thing I wanted to do was go back on X that I had deleted and just tweet back. I just took a step back. I have a mindfulness app on my phone, and I did a bit of mindfulness to try to explore the emotions that this tweet created. Did he douche after this?
I, it's what it sounds
I don't.
like.
I'm really trying in this video to stay out of the gutter, but come
Yeah.
on,
Uh,
come on.
don't get me tickled. I'll have to mute my mic.
Mindfulness app.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yes, they exist. Okay, but carrying on before I just Okay, okay. In a moment of sheer hypocrisy, he accused Elon of fueling hatred while at the same time indicating he had a bunch of hateful 3-word replies he wanted to send. For me, Elon, it's sad. He's just feeding hatred. I had a lot of 3-word replies that came to mind. Hmm?
That I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense.
Is it like, I love you, Elon? I mean, what is it? Right? Okay, anyway, that's all I have on this. I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts is okay, it is the whole thing is just a bunch of hypocrisy because at first he's saying he welcomes criticism and he wants to hear from everybody and things like that. And then he turns around in the same breath and says he don't want to hear people that criticize as just being haters and all this stuff.
It is absolutely. Anyway, it is absolutely hypocrisy. There is no doubt about that. No denying that. And the only ones that cannot see it is, well, as the saying goes, him and his ilk. Unfortunately, they're in an echo chamber, as is much of the opposition. Now, let's just be real about it. There's a lot of people who have far opposing views that are also in an echo chamber. But we are the customers, for one. And what do they say about the customers?
The customer is always right.
We pay them to make good stuff, and they know make good stuff.
Well, we need to take our money somewhere
We,
else then.
do I need say more? Okay, with that, we're gonna wrap this up. Like, subscribe, and donate. Donations are working now. I mean, feel free.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later.